Minutes or so, we're going to be wrapping up the day's business news, and of course we have to start with this. Investors spurred on MTN shares today, even though the company's profits have been cut in half, largely because of knocks in Nigeria. The telecoms provider has been embroiled in protracted talks and legal wranglings in Nigeria, where it was hit with a fine last year for failing to cut off subscribers who had not registered in a process similar to our own RICA. The initial fine of $5.2 billion was reduced to 3.9 billion, but that, along with uncertainty and poor communication from MTN, has weighed on shares, which are down more than 20% since last October. Today, Africa's largest mobile operator said it could emerge from the debacle. It has put aside $600 million to settle that dispute after making a good faith payment of $250 million. That means it may be confident of reaching a lower settlement. MTN also expects Nigeria to devalue its currency, the naira, which could reduce the impact of the fine. Investors also surprised today by a higher dividend. Well, at one stage, the MTN share price trading 10% higher. They've closed 4% up, though.
One can say that the fine imposed on MTN has almost overshadowed its identity. To date, the operator has paid to Nigerian authorities $250 million in good faith. During its results presentation on Thursday, company representatives conceded that certain things could have been done differently, given that the operating environment in Nigeria is a complicated one.
The 5 million subscribers that were unregistered are really people who did not complete as thoroughly as they should the registration forms in order to get a SIM card. And you should see that in a context where the national database in Nigeria is still something that they are trying to establish. So in many respects, those people come to us as the first port of call of a registration of any sort. There's biometric fingerprints that have to be done and all sorts of things. So in short, all I'm saying is it's a very complex environment because of the limited national database system. And therefore, the operators carry quite a lot of that burden to not only provide people with SIM cards, but effectively help create that national database.
We were asked to comply with some very, very tough standards on the fingerprint and the image side. And when the rejected files get sent to operators, the operators actually don't know why they failed. It just says invalid image or it says invalid fingerprint, and you go through a process of trying to get clarity. So when we started receiving these files, we started engaging the regulator, even in the September exercise, and tried to get clarity to say, work with us in helping us put a better system in place. And, you know, when they you know, eventually when we suspended those 5.2 million subscribers, I think I landed up in Nigeria and realized that, you know, if we really were going to get out of this, in the absence of clarity, MTN had to do certain things. And we've made a significant investment in putting in a new system which does front-end biometric validation. In other words, we don't take a registration in unless it's validated at the front end in terms of fingerprint quality, image quality. However, I have no way of relying on the person I'm registering is actually the person I'm registering, because a voter's card is a voter's card. You know, it could be a genuine one, it could be a fake one.
Nigeria's telecommunications minister told Reuters this week that government would start another round of talks with MTN very soon. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.